In front of the screen, a user inadvertently swiped a video of someone feeding wild foxes on the edge of the city. Such warm and slightly alien images have long appeared in the public eye on more than one occasion.
We do get a lot of people that think that it's okay to feed the meerkats crisps, stuff like that. But obviously it's not part of the natural diet. Obviously there are a lot of things in food, our food, which is toxic. So we know that chocolate is toxic to dogs and stuff like that. Even things like parrots, avocado, which we think is nice and healthy. If a bird was to eat avocado, it is extremely toxic. So we have a lot of signage around everywhere telling people not to feed the animals. And also, whenever we're walking about, if we see someone feeding the animals, we'll go up to them, ask them to stop, and then the first thing we'll do is ask them to tell us what they've fed them. So then if we need to call the vets or we need to get some medication or something like that, then we can do that. So yeah.
In the wild, survival is a balancing act. And at the zoo, the animals are used to regular rations of food. They no longer have to search, chase, or hunt. Day after day, their survival skills are deteriorating. Animals that have been artificially fed for a long period of time undergo significant behavioral changes. They become dependent on humans, forget their survival skills in the wild. And even their food preferences change. Perhaps true caring is respecting the nature of animals. We can observe and leer, but try not to interfere with their natural way of life. In the wild, survival is a balance. When humans intervene, even with good intentions, that balance is lost. It's not just the animals, the whole ecosystem is affected. This is something we need to think about.
Yes, of course, I think that many of the people feel sorry for the animals. They think that they are doing the animals a favor, but in fact, they artificially increase the population.
One of the characteristics of climate change that is only going to get more intense is the frequency of extreme events. And so feeding may well be really useful to see over wildlife populations across an extreme event, just in the same way as there's a good side to all of this, which is that people felt a connection with nature. And it was an amazing thing to have this wild animal come up to me and just see if my fingers were edible.
Well, we domesticated pigeons many years ago, so now they follow us.
Yeah.
So it's our fault that they are now kind of a pest and they are everywhere. For example, in cities you have pigeons, several pigeons with diseases, mutilations and mutations, and I think that's part of the really bad diet they have in cities because they eat trash and low quality food. So I think it's hard to tell with pigeons because it's a highly domesticated animal. So basically we have a strong relationship already with them, but definitely they are a source of diseases in cities and also for other wildlife.
The big issue there is that the government has a policy of feeding the deer, and that causes the deer to aggregate in the feeding areas where the disease spreads. It's highly infectious. The worry for people is that this disease, brown disease, will jump eventually from deer to people.
So I don't think they are helping the animals because not every humans will be friendly. If the animal approaching a humans, and then may get into trouble as well.
At all. Because also you're helping a particular species to be more abundant in the environment, and then because of we're like artificially creating more resources for a particular species, this may create an imbalance.
Sure. I'm not an expert on AI, and of course AI is a very hot topic, but I strongly encourage you that I think there's already a publications that came out talking about how the AI could help in conservation of wildlife. I do not claim that I am an expert on AI. But if you're talking about other technology, yes, we have been using technology for conservation. And for example, using the remote sensing technology, for example, using the drones for doing a population surveys. Yeah, these are the few examples. But you have to, for the AI bit, you have to go and Google yourself.
I don't think it will create new jobs. I think it will diversify our jobs, and that we will have to adapt to using technology a bit more as well. Because technology is already used, and because we do already use technology, I think it's one of those things that it will be introduced to the new technology, and we'll just have to use it.
There has probably never been a single standard answer to the relationship between humans and wildlife. Since ancient times, we have been groping in the process of getting along with nature, and there has been symbiosis and reverence, as well as predation and harm. There may be no standard answer to the relationship between humans and wildlife in the first place. The key, therefore, is not to find a so-called right way of dealing with the situation, but to reflect on our long history of self-centered thinking. This reflection continues and must continue. Only then will we be able to secure a sustainable future for ourselves and for all that we share.